We've just had the Credit Suisse numbers. Jan-Henrick, your first take, you're caught on a stool, but you maybe don't have all the details there in front of you. But your first take this morning, the additional red headline, if you needed another one, is that, there are pretty big, significant job losses to come, which is tough news for everybody who's sitting inside this bank.
Yeah, I don't want to see any red headlines.
Yeah, take a deep breath, Jan-Henrick.
Deep breath, that's probably needed today. I think investors wanted to see two things today. A, how is Credit Suisse going to look like in the future? And secondly, how are they going to get there? Think about like a house being on fire. You're building a new house while your house is on fire. That's the story of Credit Suisse. They are raising capital, 4 billion. That's somewhat, slightly higher than expected, but in line with most expectations. And they are selling the SPG unit, or at least like a big chunk of that. They're probably selling it below book value. They didn't disclose any figures. So I can just assume the capital release, which will be probably 2 to 3 billion. And then, I think they are drastically reducing investment banking, something they've been trying for years. And I think now they seem to be very serious about it. And the future of Credit Suisse will be asset management, wealth management, and a bit of Swiss banking.
So much smaller then, it sounds like.
It will be a much smaller bank.
So what are the risks to that plan, though, Jan-Henrick?
Well, I think the risk is still, do they have enough capital to fulfill on that plan? There will be a few more. I think like if I put all the numbers together, I still see a capital gap. I think the market might be somewhat disappointed on the lack of details. They will have to sell further assets. Also to pay for the restructuring. And then, you've seen the story of Credit Suisse over the past years. They made a lot of mistakes. It's a story of mismanagement and distress. And, there's always potential for, I guess, a failure in execution of that restructuring plan. So I think that's where we are now.
Okay.